Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Behind the Blind. This is your host Nadir.
And this is Yadira.
Who's also the host. She's the host too. Don't think it's just me. She's also very important. Alhamdulillah. So we are on the journey of Yadira to Islam, right?
Yeah,
Yadira?
my journey to embracing Islam.
Yep. That's a better sentence. So Yadira, you want to just kind of recap the last episode, inshallah?
So, let's see, Bismillah. So we discussed how I was born completely blind. I don't know my father. My mother was very young when she had me. So my grandmother raised me, but her and I have always maintained a relationship. And at this point in my life, her and I are like very close sisters. She's an excellent grandma. Let's see, there was a lot of teachers who were mistreating me in the public school system. We are at this point where we're going to backtrack a little bit and put me back in 7th grade. We had finished up 8th grade and sort of went through high school and stuff like that. But we're going to start with me being in 7th grade and then jump right back over to high school and continue from there.
Let's go.
Oh, I was raised Catholic as well.
Yes.
In a Puerto Rican home. So
yep.
all
Puerto
of that
Rican
was mentioned.
Catholic home.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I covered all the bases.
Yep.
Very quickly.
Yep.
So
let's go.
Okay. So I am in 7th grade and I don't know what happened that year. And I think honestly that summer prior to starting was like probably one of the best summers I ever had in my life. I at that age, at that point, right, at that little young life of mine, I was great summer. My cousin had come to stay with me for the whole summer. Like we were in the pool every day, and it was just a really laid back summer, and it was great. And then 7th grade started, and I had a new teacher, and this is like the school I attended was K through 8th grade, but it was kind of divided up. So once you hit 5th grade, that was like considered upper level, middle school, I guess. So I was in 7th grade at this point, and we got this new teacher, and I don't know what it was. She just, honestly, I always attribute it back to being the blind thing, because she was, not only did she bully me and would just say hurtful things, would be cruel, intentionally cruel to me. She would egg the other students on. And these are students that I grew up with. So from K to 8th grade, the students are pretty much always the same all the way through. Some may come in, some may come out here, like, enter the school here and there. But in general, it's the same kids. So and then they're all living in the same neighborhood. So you're growing up with these people.
You know all these people.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
And then
it's not like where, I mean, I guess I kind of get the same thing. Like whenever I went to elementary school, it was always the same kids in my classes. Mm-hmm. Always.
Yeah.
Like, always. Like there may be one or two anomalies,
mm-hmm.
but in general, it's always the same kids.
The same kids. I usually had the same kids in my class.
Yeah.
And we all knew each other. So when 7th grade hit and this teacher is egging these kids on, and then they start pretty much turning on me and just bullying me. And I, quite frankly, as an adult now, don't really blame them because they were children. These were 12, 13-year-old kids who were being encouraged and praised by an adult to bully another child. To an extent, because I'm raising, Nadir and I, we are, inshallah, raising our kids to do way, way better than that. To an extent, I don't really blame them because this is the adult. This is the person that is your authority figure, and they're the ones encouraging you to keep hurting someone else. Like I remember sitting down and I was taking some test, and one of the kids, they had this like ball of like clay, but it was that artistic clay, like the air dry clay or whatever.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they threw it right at the side of my head. And it was one of the boys. And
what a jerk.
Yeah.
I want to punch that little kid in the face.
And I remember there was this one teacher.
No comment on that.
I don't know what to say to that. It was just okay.
No retort to that one.
No.
Like sometimes you got to punch a little kid in the face.
And I remember that there was one teacher, she was on my child study team, and she was such a sweet woman, and she hugged me and she went off on these kids. And she was she was like, you're going to pay for that because you're not getting younger, you're getting older, and this is going to be, if you keep behaving this way, this is going to be what defines you with your character. And if that's the person you want to turn out to be, then I feel sad for you because you have nothing waiting good for you in life. It was intense.
Yeah.
And
to say the least.
Yeah, she was a sweet, sweet woman, and I will always remember her.
The problem is, like, how far does that really go to little, like,
I don't know,
teenagers and preteens and stuff like that? Like, how far does that actually go?
It may not have gone far for them, but it made a difference to me.
It made a difference to you, yeah. Okay.
And she hugged me, and you know what I mean? And literally, wallahi,
Yeah,
she said it. She was actually crying.
Yeah, because what the hell, you see this nonsense happening. It's like, why would you do this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And that was one event in 7th grade. And between the students behaving that way and the teacher encouraging it, I ended up missing more than 40 days of school, which is a lot. And
just because you didn't want to go to school?
No, not because I didn't want to go to school. I physically got sick.
You got sick because of
stress.
How they were treating you and the stress from it all.
The stress from it all.
Not just that though, right? Like the stress at home too? Or was it just from the school?
That was particularly from the school. Stuff was always going on at home, and so at that point there wasn't anything.
You're just numb to it at that point. It's
Yeah, stuff was always right. It was stuff always going on, and I knew how to manage that.
Yeah.
But the stress of everything, and constantly, since you're a little kid, having to fight to exist in a space that you're allowed to have, even legally, because I'm just blind. Like, why can't I be here? Mm-hmm. And I think with that teacher behaving in that manner, I just physically, my body broke. Basically, I was constantly with a fever. I had bronchitis, God knows how many times. Like, I was always sick, and not just a little sick, like bronchitis. That's serious. That's like a step away from pneumonia. And I was, and then the freaking teacher, she wrote me up, and she wrote the form up that was like for children who are delinquent. You know what I mean? Like you don't go to school or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Which in turn gets my grandmother in trouble because now she's being viewed as a negligent parent. That didn't go over well.
Yeah, we heard
my grandma.
We heard your grandmother's reaction to teachers in the last episode.
Right. So she goes,
which was hilarious.
Yeah, so she gets the form and she said, ¿Qué es esto? Like, what's this? Mm-hmm. And she goes to the school. She didn't even, like, we're talking pre-mass shooting days, right? I lived in the hood, by the way. Straight up hood. Never once did we have anybody with guns or anything. I literally was going to ask you,
how many mass shootings were there in your school in the hood?
Never. We literally had drugs.
If you notice, there are rarely ever mass shootings in the hood.
They were literally like drugs being sold down the street. But
no schools are getting shot up.
Nope. I did have a couple times a stolen car drive right through the playground while we were exiting school and stuff, so we had to like pin ourselves against the wall and stuff like that. But nobody was ever getting shot. Like that was
like there isn't somebody literally targeting the school to go just kill kids and students and stuff like that.
That was not a thing. And
that doesn't happen in the hood.
No, and I lived, like I said, straight up in the hood where people are always afraid and whatnot to go there and whatever. Mm-hmm. My grandmother, everybody knew her there. She walks in, like past the security guards, don't even say nothing, and they already knew she was mad, and they're like, "Oh yeah,
boy, here we go.
Who got her mad?
Get the popcorn, son. Let's do this."
So she just bursts into the office and she slams that paper down, and she's like, "What is this?" And she starts going off. So immediately the vice principal comes out because she was like the interim at that point. I don't know, the guy had retired or something. Anyway, no, what's happening? I'm sorry. How can we fix this? I don't even, like, what happened? So my grandmother, she sees the form, and mind you, I was not the first kid from my grandmother to attend that school. My mother had gone there. My aunts had gone there. My uncle had, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this isn't something new. They knew her.
Yep.
Everybody knew her. And they looked at that and they said, this is rubbish. Like literally the principal just tore the paper right in front of me. Mm-hmm. She was like, this is absolutely unacceptable. She was like, what is going on that she's missing so many days? And so my grandmother tells her this lady got huge trouble, couldn't get fired because of tenure, but that was the one and only. Which is,
I think it's such a crappy system.
It is.
Like, what the hell? Like, why is it that if you're a teacher for a certain amount of years, you can't get fired, but like doctors can get fired?
I don't know.
Anyone else can get fired at the drop of a dime. 20 years working in a factory, you could get fired. But a teacher that sucks at their job can be doing their job for so long and not get fired.
I agree with that. And I can't say it's all teachers. I have had some incredible teachers
suck.
But the ones that do, that should never go. Teaching is an art, and not everybody has the talent for it.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not trying. Hold on, I'm not trying to accuse all teachers and saying they suck, but I'm saying like for teachers that do suck, that are terrible,
they don't deserve
beings,
that privilege.
They don't deserve that. No,
they don't.
Not at all.
She couldn't get fired because of tenure, but that she got transferred out, and that was the one and only year that she worked at that school.
You should have students vote on the, the past students vote
or something.
Like, does this teacher deserve tenure?
Something, because when especially
and be reevaluated like every 5 years
to be able to keep the tenure. Because when you're a disabled student, you go through so much abuse at the hands of your teachers. It's no joke. it's not every teacher, but it happens. And then when we do speak up about it, it's almost taboo. Like, no, teachers, they're great. You can't, maybe you misunderstood, or no, I did not misunderstand. I experienced it. I know what that feels like. And too many students, and alhamdulillah, I'm verbal. And I have, you know what I mean? But there are disabled students.
You have all your faculties. You just can't see.
I just can't
really.
see.
That's
but there are disabled students who are nonverbal and who cannot vocalize properly what is happening. And that is, alhamdulillah, our children don't have a disability like that. But that is terrifying to think that I'm sending my child to somewhere they're supposed to be safe, and what's happening in reality is that they're getting abused and they can't even tell you. That's terrifying to me, because I know that some of these teachers are very abusive. I've lived it. So that was what was happening in school at 7th grade. We're going to kind of go down this track of my childhood again, but from the personal side, like, the home side, to an extent. And the reason I say to an extent is because whenever as us converts are, they're like, share your story, and oh my God, SubhanAllah, your story, I want to hear it. The thing is that you're asking us to relive a lot of things that may be very, very painful. Yeah. And so reliving that sometimes is mentally and emotionally draining. And sometimes you just don't want to have to relive certain things. So, if I'm a little bit vague or I choose to leave certain things out, that's just going to have to be.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Understood.
So, so that was 7th grade. 8th grade, I had that teacher who didn't like me, but overall it went pretty smooth. The students were like night and day. That teacher was no longer there and my friends were back. We were all very well behaved. That year, I don't know what was happening, because we were, overall as a class, we were awful. By the way, I will admit to my own awfulness. The kids had been messing with me for just, I don't know, that day I had it. And this one kid came and kept, how people will, and by the way, for the audience, don't ever do that. That's not cool. They'll like tap you on the shoulder and then go on the other side and tap you. And they'll, like, because you can't see you.
And just keep going back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, I hate that.
Don't ever do that.
I hate that.
Don't ever do that.
It's not even funny.
It's not.
It's stupid.
It's demeaning. It's degrading.
And then whenever you get back elbowed,
well,
like,
the thing is, I didn't back.
What happened?
I didn't back
No,
elbow
I did.
him.
I did back elbow.
No.
That's why.
I didn't do that. I calculated exactly the timing where he was going to be. I grabbed his wrist and I turned around and I had my cane and I folded up and I took it and I just
hit him in the balls.
No, I just kept hitting him everywhere.
Okay.
I just beat the crap out of him.
Good. Sometimes you need to beat the crap out of people with your cane. Fold it up.
I was like, I can't. I got him a good like 4 times. Yeah. 4 or 5 times before one of those was a substitute teacher was like, you can't do that. And I was like, he started it. And so that was that, we were just kind of really out of hand. I don't no idea what was going on in that year. But 8th grade came and everybody was all proper and behaving well. And that teacher from 7th grade was no longer there. She was actually my history teacher and my homeroom teacher. So she was no longer there and things went a lot smoother. So now we are leaving that part of sort of that chapter and we're moving on to high school. And of course I get to high school and
that's the end of that chapter. Can't help but quote The Simpsons.
It's so great. So
this is gonna be a goal of mine from now on.
Okay.
In every episode, I'm gonna try to quote something from The Simpsons.
You do that, sir.
I'm gonna try.
Okay. You do that.
I'm gonna try. We're talking old Simpsons, not the new ones. The new ones suck. But
okay.
Yeah.
You do that.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, it's okay.
I'm the levity. I told you this. I told you this.
I love it.
Okay.
So I get to the school. This isn't the school that I really wanted to attend, but it was closer to where I lived, and it was still, a school for the performing arts or just the arts in general.
We're talking about high school?
Yes.
Okay, so now you're out of where you were.
Yes.
Right.
In a different city.
Different city. Now you're in the city that you actually moved to, that you've been in for years.
Yes.
But you're out of the actual school system of the old city. Now you're in the school system of the new city.
Yes.
Got it. Go.
So I get to that school, and of course, this is a huge school, so they had different buildings that they called houses. And so the house director of the gifted and talented and arts school that I was attending. Now it's different. Now it's actually a school, like it's separate or whatever, if I'm not mistaken. But this is years ago. The house director there immediately was like, well, I don't think you're going to thrive here. I don't think you're going to how are you possibly going to do well here? You're blind. And I think the best bet would be for you to go to this house.
With the special needs kids.
Yes, with the special needs kids. And let me tell you, there is nothing wrong with anyone who has any disability. But my disability is not cognitive, nor is it...
Once again, you just can't see.
Right.
Everything else is there. You just can't see.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not developmental, nor is it cognitive, right? I just have a physical disability.
Mm-hmm.
So that immediately got me really angry. And at this point, I had watched my grandmother stand up for me, and I learned how to do it at a really young age, to speak up for myself. And I said, my grandmother didn't even get a chance to speak, because I said, why are you sending me there? I literally, in all the state tests, I tested above 90, I'm in the 90th percentile. Why are you doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm blind? Academically, it would be a disaster. I don't belong over there.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? And I was almost all my classes, a lot of them were honor roll classes, like there were honors classes. And then, you know what I mean? It wasn't the regular college prep classes.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, and I'm here.
Humble brag.
Not humble brag. It was just, I was mad, like, what am I going to do? Take the classes over here, like drop the classes, or
no, I'm saying,
you know what I mean? Like,
no, I go. I'm just talking trash. Don't worry about me. Go ahead.
So I said, furthermore, I'm here because I'm joining the music program.
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to partake in those classes if you have me in a building that has nothing to do with this? Literally, if you look at my schedule, it makes absolutely no sense. You're literally telling me to drop all my classes and have to redo my schedule to accommodate you and what you're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I probably should not have spoken to the house director like that.
I mean, that's pretty much what society is leaning on, right?
Yeah.
Like, adjust your life the way, adjust the truth, just the way life is to accommodate me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And what I'm comfortable with.
Exactly.
So I said, I'm not doing that. Yeah. And if we need to fight it, then we will fight it. And then I will bring in, the people from the Commission of the Blind. I've done this before. I literally remember telling this. I've done this before, and I will do it again.
Exactly.
And this is a 14-year-old kid, okay, with a smart mouth. I was got in trouble for that smart mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember literally telling her, I have done this before, and I will do it again. And she was like, well, I mean, whatever you want to do, I guess we can get an aid for you. I said, I don't need an aid. I don't want an aid. I'm starting high school, and teenage thought process was, if I get an aid, I'm
never gonna hear the end of it.
I'm never gonna hear that. That's it. I have cemented my reputation in this school as,
and kids suck.
Exactly.
High school. The cruelest people you'll ever meet in your life
are in high school
students.
Yeah, and I'm like, nope, I will not do that. Eventually, she dropped it, and obviously, I continued my high school career in that school, and I did well, and I excelled in the music program, and I had a lot of the main solos. And in my junior year, we went to we did a regionals competition. So we kind of went up the scale. We did it locally, and then we did it within the state. Mm-hmm. And then we went up to regionals, and we won first place in all of them. And that was really cool. And I learned, I think my sophomore year, I took up the harp. So I did 3 years of that, and I really enjoyed that. And then I was also part of the drama club. And I was, the performing arts is where I found my home, so to speak. That's kind of what was going on in my life for the most part. My senior year, this is, again, and I'm not including personal things from home, because this is more just from the school perspective. Mm-hmm. Because I think both avenues shaped my life, shaped my perspective, and they helped to shape, me,
Yeah.
No, wait. A little before my senior year, I had already discussed this, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I applied for a seeing eye dog, and I did not get it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's true, yeah.
So I'm not going to go into that. But that happened during my high school days. But my senior year, that was 2001, started with 9/11. So I was like, wow, this is
Damn, bro, you're old.
Yeah. So we had started, I think we had started school the week before, or that Thursday before, something like that. It was just a few days in. And then,
September 11th. We start school literally the second, right after Labor Day. Yeah. It's that same
on
week.
the East Coast anyway, yep. Or at least.
On the East Coast, yes. Yeah. We usually start that first week after Labor Day.
Yeah. So we had just started, and then 9/11 hit. Oh, okay. That's just the way that started. And so fast forward to March, from September to March. Most of that time was filled with getting ready for the big spring, the big play, the big musical. I had a lead role in that. I actually didn't, that was not how it planned it out. I actually was taking voice lessons with the choral director, she was not the same one that I had for the previous 3 years. They had changed her, and she's an amazing woman. Both of them are. The one I had for my senior year, she's just this really sweet, incredible teacher, awesome human being. And so I was taking private vocal lessons with her just to keep myself honed, you know what I mean? And because my intention was to eventually go to either a 4-year college for and major in music, something to do in music, or to go to a conservatory, which is actually what I really wanted to do. So I was taking classes with her, and she suggested that I try out for the play, and I said I really don't want to because I'm not really an actress. She's like, no, we'll just have you sing a couple songs. And I'm like, okay. And they were like, okay, you have to come back for a callback. I said, but why? You said I'm just gonna sing. She's like, no, you have to read. And I'm like, but I don't wanna. And she's like, come on, just do it. You can do it. So
they straight up hustled you.
Yeah. So wow. I read, and apparently I did really well, and people were laughing and stuff, and it went over very well, to my own surprise. Mm-hmm. And then I got a lead. They posted up how they have on that bulletin board, and everybody goes to look at the cast list.
Yep.
To see who made it. And I had a lead role, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, like what?
I was just supposed to sing songs. What is this? And she was like, you'll be fine. You'll do fine. And I'm like, I don't know what
Why are you forcing me into this role?
I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And now I have to act and dance. And like,
I'm sure the hate came your way.
It did. But
from, those drama geeks.
Yeah. But a lot of them really, honestly, the truth is, very, very few. Honestly, it was only from one girl, and the girl wasn't even in the drama club, who actually was very annoyed with me. But everyone else was really supportive and awesome. And these are people from the drama club and the music department that these kids, I never had a problem with them because they were weird like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
it was where a lot of my friends were either in band or in chorus or in drama or in something. So, but the one girl, she was not happy. She was not happy. She wasn't even part of the club, actually, which is ironic.
Yeah.
But this is the same girl who got really, really annoyed with me because I got the solo, like the big solo, my sophomore year for chorus. Anyway, teenage drama stuff that's neither here nor there.
Neither here nor there, exactly.
So,
but it's a part of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so she convinced me to be part of this, and I love her for that. And the director who was in charge of the play, and these to other people may think it's this is just like a waste of time or something, but when you think about it from the perspective of somebody who's disabled, these people took a chance on me. I could not see, but I learned how to navigate that stage, and the directors were so supportive. The one teacher, my teacher who convinced me to do it in the first place, would literally take time from her periods, her free periods, her prep periods, to teach me the dances one-on-one, to get me to get it right. Like, they put in the effort just so that I would feel like I am included like everyone else. And I was more than willing to do it. And I really enjoyed myself. And I'm very grateful for that experience.
Now, we're not telling you to go on stage and start dancing and stuff.
No.
This is just Yadira's experience.
And the fact is that, putting all that aside, whether it's drama, music, art, whatever, it could be English, it could be math, whatever the case is, these teachers went above and beyond to make me feel just as important as every other student.
Yep, that's the point.
That's the point of that. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're getting ready to go on stage, and we're doing all this. And it's finally, opening night. I started the whole thing because I had to sing the national anthem, and that's how we started the whole thing every night. And a friend of mine was supposed to come see me. They never showed, and I remember because they were like, "Did your friend come?" And I said, "No, they didn't come." But you know how that is. It's not. I was at that point kind of used to the disappointment from this friend of mine. And next night, I had found out after the show that my friend had passed away in a really bad car accident. And he was drag racing. He was messing around, and he took one of the curves at complete top speed, and he didn't have a seatbelt on, and he was ejected from the car. There were 3 passengers in the car. 2 of them passed away, and one of them survived because he had a seatbelt on in the back, but the 2 in the front, they passed away. And I remember that because there was a lot of, at this point, yes, in high school, there was a lot going on at home. There was always a lot going on at home, but that particular event had been preceded by something that was also life-shattering, literally like a week before in my personal. And so those 2 events back to back was just like, what is happening? This is serious. Like, there has to be more to life than just having carefree teenage enjoyment. And I don't know what God is trying to tell me here, but something there's something serious going on and I don't know what it is. And I'm feeling confused and I'm feeling lost and I don't like it. So you know what? I'm going to go back to church because I had stopped going to church. And I just started going to church. And I was going every Sunday with one of my friends to her church. And they invited me to start teaching the catechism classes, which is like the Sunday school classes for the kids to do their first communion.
Because at this point you were fully confirmed, right?
Yes.
So you did all the steps.
Yeah, which we'll get back to.
Okay, got it. Sorry for jumping the gun.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
Here is where kind of personal and school merge.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember just being a mess. And my teachers were all really understanding. I remember one of my teachers, my English teacher, explained what happened. Actually, I didn't even have to. A lot of my friends had talked to him about it. And he wrote me a note, giving me condolences. And it was a big deal because a student had passed away from the class. So everybody knew about it. It wasn't like the teachers were unaware. And 2 students actually had passed away from the graduating class. And so he gave me extensions on my papers, and like all the teachers were very understanding of what had just happened. And but I remember just feeling like I don't even want to do this anymore. Like there's more to life than this. And then prom came. I didn't want to go. My grandmother's like, you have to go. If you don't go, you're going to regret it. This is a once in a lifetime. And I'm like, event, and you need to go. And so I ended up going just to make her happy.
Do you think you would have regretted it? No? No big loss?
No big loss.
Because I didn't get to go to prom. I don't think I regret it.
No.
But it's like, I understand now. Obviously, I understand now.
Yeah, but at the time...
When you're a young, stupid teenager, you're like, I want to go to prom. What the hell? Why can't I go to prom?
I made my friend cry at prom.
Yep. 10 points for Dita.
I was... Okay.
You were in no mood to go to begin with.
I was in no mood to go to begin with. Okay. We went, and she sat me at a table and then disappeared on me. And I'm sitting here like, where the F is this girl? Like, you know what I mean? Like
you pressured me to come to this stupid thing.
Like everybody was pressuring me to come, and now I'm sitting here by myself, and I'm like, I don't want to be here. And then one of my best friends was like, she came and she smacked me in the back of the head, playfully. And she was like, why you sitting by yourself? She's like, why you sitting by yourself, stupid? And I'm like, I don't know. So she was like, come on, you're staying with me. So I left the table. Like I was like, I have her purse. Like my other friend, she was like, girl, just leave it. Because I don't even see her. Like she's probably outside. And like half an hour later, when I was sitting with the other group of friends, actually enjoying myself, she shows up and she starts like, oh, you just left. You left me at the table by myself. Like, I don't need to be taken care of. And if that's how you feel, go have your fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so she's getting on my case and I said, and she starts crying, and I'm like, oh my God, you know what? I'm not going to repeat what I said.
You got to say it.
No.
You got to say it. Say it. Say it.
I was so upset. And I was like, you know what? You need to just go cry me a river and drown in it.
Oh. Do you give people permission to use that one?
Sure. It's really mean. It's not something I'm proud of.
Yes. Oh, such a good one. Oh, that was...
And she was like taken aback.
That one is just great. Let me tell you.
And I was like, she was like, how could you say that? I was like, because you're not going to sit here and make me feel bad for getting up and leaving a table where I was sitting completely by myself, depending on whenever you felt like coming back to quote, to come get me. So she left. I didn't see her for most of the night. And eventually she came back around and she apologized. And we were cool. It wasn't like, that was it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was in no mood, really. I was in no mood. But you didn't miss anything, really. It's just a bunch of teenagers getting high. And
so like I said, hey, alhamdulillah, I didn't go.
Alhamdulillah. You didn't miss anything. It is.
Like I said, I was young, dumb, not on my dean.
I think the only thing I really liked about it was that I looked so cute. That was it. As a teenager, that was
Habibti, you always look cute.
That was literally, I remember I got ready and I was happy with the way I looked, and I was like, my grandmother had skills. She made my dress, and those skills were completely undeniable. And the dress was custom made, and so it fit well, and great. I was happy about it. But I think besides that, I was just not in the mood for any of it. I wasn't angry that I went. It was just a day. And then the limo was late, and there was a whole drama with that. And I was like, oh, see, this is why I don't want to go. Like, this is so stupid.
All right, so let's fast forward from the prom.
So we fast forward from the prom. We move on to graduation. I'm still feeling really confused and torn. And like, I graduated. Oh, that was a crazy day. We had a hailstorm come out of nowhere and like attack. The funny thing is that the top 100 was moved inside before the storm hit, and I was in the top 100. So they were like, this angry. It was so sunny, super super sunny. I gotta go back a little bit,
Okay.
just a little bit.
Okay.
A few months before, I was 17, so before March. So we're hitting December now. I
Okay.
lost my light perception because I was born with light perception in my left eye. That's all I could see was light perception. I think I had discussed that in the blindness episode when I discussed my blindness.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that was that same year too. Like,
Okay.
a lot of big things were happening, and it was just pushing me in the direction of,
And you were 17, 18.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so there was too much happening where it was just, it felt like God was trying to pull me or push me somewhere, and I just couldn't figure out what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I lost that light perception. Now we're back, it being really sunny on my graduation day, and my friend and I, we both got sunburned because we were out on the field practicing, because the graduation class was huge. And so we graduated in the field, in the football field. So we're practicing and we got sunburned, and it was so bad. And so the cap and gown was just like rubbing up against my shoulders, like the gown.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. And I remember just being like, this needs to hurry up and be finished. But all of a sudden, this angry cloud just covered the sun, and the wind started picking up, and they were like, we waited like 15 minutes. It doesn't look like it's gonna abate anytime soon, so let's just move you guys in, and then once we see if the weather's gonna change or what's gonna happen, we'll decide if we're gonna postpone the graduation or not. Like, so the top 100 gets moved in, and we're just kind of milling around the gym, and then not even 10 minutes later, maybe 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody starts bursting in through the doors and like trying to topple each other. Like, I'm getting in first. And then we were like, what is happening? They were drenched.
Mm-hmm.
People had lost their caps. Some people had squished caps, like because, it's all cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, what happened to you? They were like, it's a massive hailstorm. And so all the students, all the guests, like the parents and everybody had to be all kind of crammed in. I didn't even know where my family was for a hot minute. And then eventually found them. I think one of my aunts and my sister or something, they had some hail burn.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like, we were
Hail burn. I
their
don't even know what the hell that is.
It hit them so hard they got like burned.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, what happened to you? They were like, it's like the sky opened up out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So hailstorm on the
On graduation day.
Yep.
The cars were flooded. I mean, there was huge currents. It was this mess, and I was just, all this is going on, and it was pretty funny and scary at the same time. Funny, not like cracking up, like ironic funny. Like, it was just sunny.
Yeah.
And it lasted for, I don't know, and then an hour, maybe, the whole storm between hail and rain and flooding and all that, flash flood.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just stopped. And my school used to do something called project graduation, and you would go and get to spend the night after graduation I didn't
get to do that
in
either.
the school. I got to do that. And that was fun.
Did not
gonna
get
lie.
to do that either.
You got to spend, and they had like carnival stuff, and it was super, super fun. And again, that same friend that left me at prom, we went together, and then she kind of just
left you,
disappeared.
God,
and
damn.
the same friend who found me
sucks.
Yeah, the same friend who found me, I spent literally the rest
Not the one who found you, the one who keeps leaving you.
Yeah. Well, the one who found me again from prom ran into me again, and we hung out the entire night. So because and then they release you once you're in. Only your parents can come get you out. You can't leave, and so you stay there. And we stood there till like 6.
Even though at that point you were 18.
Yeah, but it was fun. So there was no real reason for me to be like.
But I'm saying, yeah, and like your parents have to come get you out.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm an adult, bro. Get out here.
So
anyway,
so we went 6 a.m. We got out. And then we went and we went to a diner. We were like, we should probably get some sleep because we got to graduate today because we hadn't graduated yet. So
was this before or after the hailstorm?
This was after the hailstorm.
Okay.
We had project graduation, and then we got out at 6 a.m. I went with my friend who found me again at the end. And we went out to the diner, and then we spent the rest of the day trying to get ready and not look like we were just falling asleep. We graduated, and honestly, everybody was just sitting there like, I don't want to be here. Like, it wasn't even a big thing anymore because we were just tired.
Yeah. So
this is where things kind of merge a little bit. I had failed the guide dog thing. I had decided that I was going to pursue that. I was just going to throw myself into that. So now we're in the summer. I'm doing the O&M training so that I can eventually qualify to get a guide dog, and my skills can be sharpened enough that I can be accepted into the school, my school of choice. And that's kind of where we are now. I don't know if you want to, just
what?
Stop it here? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I was literally gonna say we're just hitting 40 minutes right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking this is a good place to
Okay. All
Because
right,
then,
sounds
you
good.
know, then you come into the picture.
Hey,
Yeah.
stop with the spoilers. All right, stop with the spoilers.
And that's a whole different thing.
Okay, all right. So you want anything? You want to leave off on any particular place, or you think you're good?
I think I'm good. Like I said, we graduated. I'm starting my intense training to get a guide dog.
Yep.
I'm feeling very lost, confused. There have been some really major events that have happened, particularly my senior year in high school.
You've been offered a job to go teach catechism classes.
Yes, which
Yep.
very quickly I will tell you, my grandmother outright said, "No, don't do that. You're crazy. You shouldn't do that. You're too young to take on such a serious role and responsibility."
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up not taking that job,
Okay.
actually.
All right, there you go. Got a little glimpse into that.
Yep.
Well, all right. So we're gonna end it here, and we'll continue the journey on the next episode. Please make sure you guys like and subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you like all of our socials at Islam by Touch. If you want to follow Yadira,
I said, always Yadira.
yep, at always Yadira. No underscores, no
Nope,
periods, just always Yadira. Yadira. And that's on all the socials too, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And make sure you guys share this. Share this around. Let people know that we are sharing our blind experience. Our lives as blind people. I don't know what the hell just happened there.
You just lost
I
your
just,
voice,
I
honey.
just became, yeah. As I was talking, it was like, just let people know that. So to let people know that, these are the founders of Islam by Touch, just sharing our perspective on life, our stories, and, how we live life, how we deal with it, right? So make sure you guys check us out on the next episode where we take you behind the blind. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.